Hello and welcome to Community Chats. I'm your host, Aley Hammer, and today we're joined with Matt Vine, the Director of Engineering at Whispir. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Ellie, and thanks so much for having us on the show.
So can you start by telling us a little bit about what Whispir does?
Of course. Whispir is a multi-tenanted communications workflow platform. We help to automate communication between organizations, people, and systems. So more than anything, we aim to simplify communications. We want to help organizations improve the effectiveness of their communications with their stakeholders, be it internal employees, members of the public, or even other systems or services.
Wow. It sounds like the Whispir platform is all about communication and connection. So how does using AWS cloud technology enable this to a greater degree?
This is a really good question. I think that when we talk about AWS in a technology context, it's really easy to focus on a particular set of services or tools, which at last glance was something like 200. The reality is that these services provide a means to an end, but they aren't an end in themselves. So like with Whispir, the real power of AWS is allowing people to put each of these services together and deliver really meaningful outcomes. Our use of AWS reflects that. We heavily leverage services like RDS, S3, SQS, EKS, Lambda, and Kinesis so that our employees don't need to worry about all the low-level operational details. They can focus their efforts on solving new and challenging problems that put our users' needs first.
It's so interesting to find out how the cloud is enabling you guys to streamline communications and connections for your customers. But what I want to know is, how do you use AWS to manage demand and also scale when needed?
Yeah, far out. This is a tough one. So the communication ecosystem is super complex. How and when and why organizations need to communicate with their stakeholders changes rapidly, and within a single day, it can change. Our biggest challenge is providing the capability to cater for all of this complexity and all of these different use cases. We need to be able to handle large, steady two-way communications in a marketing campaign in the same way that we need to handle really bursty crisis or disaster communications. This requires us to be able to handle really elastic workloads in a meaningful and effective way. So we heavily utilize AWS services like API gateway, load balancing, and auto scaling as a way to address these elasticity demands. Beyond that, we take a managed service first approach, which allows us to depend upon the scalability and resilience of services like RDS, Kinesis, SQS, SNS, and Lambda. On top of that, we are currently migrating our Kubernetes-based workloads to EKS on Fargate. These are all the things that add up to and allow us to handle the peaks and troughs of these complex communication challenges.
Wow. I mean, moving on from this, Whispir was one of our first Australian companies to receive the Digital Customer Experience Competency Award for marketing automation. And this was so impressive. So what I want to know is, what benefits does this bring to your customers, having an award like this?
Well, I mean, firstly, I'd love to recognise that the Competency Award puts us together with some fantastic service providers globally, so some really massive names and really respected names. Look, I think one of the biggest differentiators for Whispir is our ability to handle the end-to-end life cycle of our customer contacts. This allows us to be a meaningful and effective part of any customer's marketing automation journey. We want the organizations that use Whispir to be effective in their communications, to be able to reach their users or customers in ways that are respectful, personalized, and cut through. And I think that the competency really reflects our ability to deliver that.
Yeah, it's an amazing award. So while Whispir has several industry-leading features currently, what I want to know is, what does your product roadmap look like over the next 5 years, and what can your customers look forward to?
Oh, far out. The next 5 years are going to be hopefully massive for Whispir. Our roadmap over the next 5 years is designed to get us on the path of becoming even more intelligent with our communications. This means that all of the features and initiatives are kind of guided towards three goals. And one is ensuring that messages are delivered with the highest level of engagement, meaning that if you send a message through Whispir, more people will open it, they'll read it, they'll be engaged, they'll action the message. Creating a complete and actionable view of the customer. This is really important in the marketing space. Is giving our customers really effective views of what their what their users are. And finally, we want to build a platform that reduces down distracting and unnecessary messages for the public. Like I said, we want to be giving or delivering communications that are respectful, they're personalized, and they cut through. So it's not just about messaging volumes for us, it's about effective messaging volumes and really respecting people.
Matt, it has been so great speaking to you today, and I really appreciate your time. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, Alex.